Hello and welcome back to the Bree and Joe show. This is Bree.
And I'm Joe.
And we are just going to be covering a couple of cozy games that we've been playing semi-recently, and we just figured we'd kind of talk about them a little bit.
Yeah, and if you guys have any co-op games that you normally play with your partner, friends, loved ones, whoever it is, please let us know. We're always open to suggestions, and if you see anything on this list that you'd like to watch us both play, let us know in the comments below.
Sounds good. So to start us off, the classic cozy game, Stardew Valley.
Yeah!
What do we like? What do we dislike?
So I'd like to go first on this one. I absolutely love the aesthetic of Stardew Valley. Like I think pixel graphics just holds something special in my heart. I grew up with the Game Boy Advanced playing Harvest Moon and the original Pokemon. Like I've just always been a big fan of pixel graphics. I absolutely love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my favorite thing about Stardew Valley, besides all like the coziness and just like it's just a fun game. But I really like taking care of all the animals. That's super fun to have to pet all of them every day, or else then they don't give you eggs or wool or whatever. That's just super cute touch, and I love it.
Well, great. I've never actually mucked around with the animals. Whenever we play together, you always like have
Mm-hmm.
your own little rabbit house, and I go, yeah, it's weird. I
Don't
love.
touch my babies.
That's right. I know my place. Um, so let's talk a little bit about some things that we dislike. For me, I'm not like it feels like the game doesn't have quite enough interaction with the villagers. You know, once you've gone through the interactable villager storylines, there isn't really much else to do. Like, there's definitely a hard cap. There's no like repeating quests. There's no go find the ultra rare Pokemon or whatever. It's just kind of like, all right, you're done. Game's done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Once you get to a certain point, like you get through like I would say like 1 year, there's not really much more that's exciting. I understand like, a game has to be semi-linear.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be like infinite.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it would be nice if like different events happened each year.
Yeah, I
Like if they
agree.
added like I don't know, like, oh, this year there's a traveling circus, and then there's like a whole thing with that, or just kind of adding so it's more like real life.
Yeah. So is
Mhm.
that what you dislike, and also what you add? You dislike the linearity of it, but would add in revolving events or something?
Yeah, or I mean, I know that it's like a relatively um like newer game. Like there's just like 1.6 is coming out pretty soon, so it's going to be expanded, and then all the mods make it more of a game. But even with the mods, you get to year one and then everything just kind of like repeats.
Yeah. I really like that idea. I like that quite a bit. And we're hoping that in the new 1.6 mod, your family, like your children and spouse, will be more
Mm-hmm.
interactable. I think that will be a great touch. But I'd also like to add in like a late game mini game or something that isn't necessarily a grind, but is a repeatable action that has some benefit in some way. So, like, I'm kind of thinking of an MMO or an RPG where once you kill the main boss, there's normally like a post game or a late game extra thing that you can do. So this would be something that would affect the town and could take you down several different routes. So let's say you went down the Jojo Mart route. Okay, great. A little bit of the town has changed, but not really much. I'd like where you could continue to progress that. You put Clint out of business. You put the saloon out of business. You start like you completely modernize the town and you stop working in the farm and now you're like an office executive or something. I think that'd be pretty fun. Or
Mm-hmm.
maybe instead of farming, you take over some type of like managerial role with the town, like you're working with the mayor or something. Like, I just like it if you could have a little bit more control at the end. Like, I have $50 million. Why am I still a farmer? Like, you know, it's a
Yeah,
beautiful
no, for
town,
sure.
but Jesus, I'd maybe buy a boat or something. All right, let's move on to the next game. What would you like to talk about, Sweet Pea?
Let's go on to Core Keeper. Core
Ooh.
Keeper is very near and dear to my heart. It's also, I think it's only like a year old. And when we started playing it, it was like very new. Like there's still like bugs and issues and stuff. But it quickly became one of my favorite games. I was super against it, didn't seem interesting to me. And then Joe was like, well, let's just try it. Immediately, I fell in love with it. Um, for those who don't know, basically you go under, you're an explorer who falls into the ground and finds this underground world or whatever.
Yeah, Journey to the Center of the
But
Earth.
yeah, but the interesting thing about it, and to me it's very satisfying, is you're like breaking up walls, and so you can spend hours just bashing down walls, and it's just like so satisfying.
Very much so. It's an incredible game. There's tons of new things coming out as the game reaches towards release, and for only I think it's $16 right now. It's definitely worth the pickup. I mean, even as a single player experience, it's a ton of fun. Think of it as like a mix between Terraria and Minecraft with a little bit more towards the RPG features. Excellent game, great development team. I've only seen good things coming out of them in the community, so I really appreciate their work ethic. I understand they're smaller, it's an indie title, like, go give them some love, guys. But tell me some of the things that you dislike about the game, sweetheart.
Um, so the bosses are pretty hard. So we have had quite a few little tisks between you and I because we're just trying to fight off these bosses, and they're just so hard. And like I said, I'm a relatively newer gamer, so I'm not up to Joe's skill level. They're pretty hard sometimes.
Very much so. The bosses are hard. And another thing that I dislike is that the game is dark. Like, I understand you're in the center of the earth or whatever, but I had to turn the brightness up on my screen, and after playing for a couple hours with the wife at night, I just get a headache. Like, I can't see shit. There's like a million torches everywhere. The enemies tend to break your objects, including your torches. So
Yeah.
you wander back
But
into a.
that's kind of like the point, because if you fell into the center of the earth
I
with
no,
a
I
bunch of worm
completely
creatures,
understand that, but
yeah.
like, give me an electrical system or like some way that I can set up permanent lighting. Like right now, at least since the last time we played, the permanent lighting was putting up flowers that glowed in the dark. And I was like,
Mhm.
this is kind of dumb. Like, just like, give me
So what
something.
would you add? An electrical system?
One, I would love like a true grid system. Whenever I play a game, it all goes back to Factorio for me. But I would love an electrical system. But also, I would love like mounts. They've already included pets and farm animals. But I would
Mhm.
love faster modes of travel besides just the rail system. I think the rail system's implemented
Oh.
extremely well, but
Mhm.
the rail system could be really, really fast. But then for moving around your base or other areas, having a mount would be really fun. So a
What if there
horse
was
or
like
a dog.
rocket fueled minecart?
There we go. Like, give me just more progression. In a game like this,
Hmm.
the more levels that you have in the technology, the longer the game can go. But I would love just to have like an easier way of moving around what eventually becomes my gigantic base. And I don't want to have to put like a million rail systems in just to travel from one side to the other. Give me a pseudo fast travel,
Hmm.
Also, the fishing kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like fishing, maybe this is just an unpopular opinion, but I feel like fishing in most games just kind of suck.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Um, so like, I really like start Core Keeper. The only thing I would add is I wish we had more people to play it with. So if anybody that's watching this video wants to play Core Keeper with us, let us know. We're always open to having some hangouts playing games.
Hell yeah. I don't know if they have like open servers, but like in Don't Starve Together or Minecraft or other games, there's servers that you can just log into and play with random people. That's actually how I've made a
Yeah, that
lot
would
of
be
really
super
good
awesome if they
friends.
had that for core keeper.
Yeah,
Because right now I think you have to like generate a code.
yeah. At least that's how we've always done it.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows?
Maybe we're doing it wrong.
Next game, Sweet Pea.
Next I have Played Up.
Oh, I love Played
I,
Up.
me too. It's so cozy. We have a Steam Link, and so we sit on the couch and play Played Up for hours. And we've had so many good nights of just playing Played Up for hours at a time.
Yeah. And
Um,
you're coming in
mhm.
at only $10. It's made by, well, excuse me, it's normally $20, but it goes on sale all the time. It's a diner dash style game where you're constantly cooking up food, serving customers, cleaning up messes, doing dishes, trying to automate the entire process, which does lead to both of our strengths because Bree's this young chicken. She's able to go and, serve the customers and clean and all that crap. And I'm this gross elderly curmudgeon who enjoys building the automated system. So it kind of, you can play with a lot of different types of people,
Mhm.
which I really, really enjoy. It's a pseudo roguelike or different cards, which are like special things that are only available for that run come up. So you might be a coffee shop that also serves ice cream, and you also make like beans on toast and all this other kind of
Mhm.
crap as your restaurant just starts to evolve and change. I absolutely love this game. And it's one of those
Mhm.
games where you put it down for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, and you can pick it right back up again, have a great time with it for, I don't know, 5, 10 hours, put it down again, and it's going to be right there for you. Yeah, it's not,
Mhm.
as I mentioned earlier, like Factorio. I'll load up my factory from 6 months ago and completely forget where I'm at. So I really like
Mhm.
this about the game.
Yeah, and the thing I like about Played Up is, of course, it's fun, but it's always changing, and it's one of those games where, like you were saying, you could play it for 10 years and never get bored of it because there's different little recipes. It's just kind of the game. Whereas like Stardew Valley and games that are linear,
Hmm.
like you get to the end of it and you're like, okay, well now there's nothing else for me to do. So
Right.
now why would I play this again?
Yep.
Whereas Played Up, like you can play it because you can do automation. You can do a game where you only do it like old fashioned, so then you're running around like crazy. You can do a single player. You can have, I think, up to like what, like 5 or 10 people or something,
Yeah, there's
all
mods for it.
working. Yeah, all working in the same little like restaurant. So it's one of those games where like you can play it forever and it's always going to be different. It's always going to be exciting. So I really like that about it, and um I really would like to find more games like that where, I could play it for the next 10 years and it's never going to be like the same story or events or whatever.
So tell me some things you dislike about the game.
Um, hmm. I don't know because there's really not anything that I dislike. Sometimes it does get really hard, especially I think it was Thanksgiving last year. They put out like an update and it's like the community card or whatever. And so every I think like 3 or 4 rounds, the amount of customers double.
Yeah.
Like the group go down. So at one point you're serving like a group of like 20 people and it's really hard to go back and forth from the kitchen to deliver the little plates and stuff for 20 people. So I think sometimes it's a little bit too hard and then of course you make all this progress and then you lose it if you um like a customer gets upset.
Yeah, so there's some balancing issues around some of the seasonal cards that can
Mhm.
come in and change up the game in a big
But
way.
that's minor. I wouldn't
Yeah,
say that like makes me hate the game or anything.
no, I kind of dislike that there is definitely easier routes within the game. So, kind of in the same route as the power creep of some of the seasonal stuff being very difficult, there's definitely shops and stores, and they give you little difficulty indicators. So, there's nothing wrong with
Mm-hmm.
playing an easy shop, but there's definitely ways to win the game very easily, and there's definitely ways to like really challenge yourself, which is great. But I'd prefer it if there was a little bit more of a middle ground where there's, say 10 recipes for easy, medium, hard, and very hard. Because right now, at least without any mods, I think there's only like a dozen or so recipes in the game, maybe more, um, which means that you're kind of stuck if you're not a very good player making cheeseburgers all the time. It kind of,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're playing by yourself, maybe I want to be the little chef who makes potatoes au gratin with meatball ravioli and bacon cheese curds. Like, give me that. Give me just the
Mm-hmm.
ability. That's really what I'm getting at here. Give me the ability to make my own recipes in the game. I think that would be really fun. Kind of like a creative mode where you can slap things together with all of the ingredients and call it a recipe, and it would assign you a difficulty rating.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, that would be fun.
so tell me what you'd like to add, Sweet Pea.
Oh, I don't know. Again, I feel like if I had more friends to play with it, maybe it could be more fun.
Okay.
Um, Maybe if there was like bots, that could be fun.
Oh,
If they added
yeah.
like bots to help you, like I don't know, like be your hostess or be a food runner or something. Um,
That's a great idea.
yeah, that could be fun.
No, I think
Because like I said,
that's
when it gets to like the higher levels, just two people, like it gets really hard. And yes, you can automate, but even then, sometimes it's
it's
hard to, you know,
get all the
serve
equipment
these.
together on time and
Yeah.
yeah. I agree with you. Actually, I think adding
Mhm.
bots is a wonderful idea. I would like to add in a story mode. I think it would be really fun if they just like once a season put out like a little, hey, this is Jim. Jim owns a coffee shop. Here's a little bit about his story. His mom is coming in, and she really likes strawberry pancakes. So today, make some
Mhm.
strawberry pancakes, and then that is
That's cute.
gone. Yeah, I think that would be really fun.
Mhm. That'd be super sweet.
Little mini campaign. And
Mhm.
on to our final game that we enjoy playing together. Would you give us an intro, Sweet Pea?
Tara, no.
Oh,
Again, this is one of those games. See, the thing is, Joe knows me more than I know myself.
yep.
So most of these games, I was like, no, it's so lame. I don't want to play that. And he's like, just play it once. And then we play it once, and then I'm like really into it. So again,
Yes.
Terra Nil, I was not into it at first, but Joe quickly made me fall in love with it. Basically, the earth has been mega polluted, and it's your job to go in and clean up the area, like clean out the water, have like fertile grass and plants and stuff to grow back in. So it's all about just cleaning up the planet, and it's kind of like a puzzle because then you have to get your equipment off the island or area because you can't leave them behind. Leave no trace.
Leave no trace. And it's the art style is absolutely gorgeous. It's
Mm-hmm.
awesome
The
and really
sound.
rewarding. Yeah, the top down
Mm-hmm.
view, it's really rewarding to be able to kind of graft the environment to how you like. Like, oh, you know what? I'm going to put a little forest over here and maybe a bit of snow, and this place can be like a little pond. Like, that just
Mm-hmm.
feels so soothing, especially
And you
if
get to
you're.
pick the animals that go in.
Exactly. It's
Mm-hmm.
just a way to kind of have full control over a part of your life that, you might not normally have. And for
For
someone
once
like me
time was a
who's
desolate
always
place,
on the go, always working,
devoid of
it
life.
just feels great to slow
You
down
too,
for an
the
hour and
first
figure out where you
turbine has
want
been
some monkeys
constructed.
to live. Like, just
Mm-hmm.
really nice.
Rivers
Tell me
flow
some
very
things
smooth.
that you dislike about the game,
Nature's
sweetheart, because I
heart
think we both covered
begins
that
to
we
wake.
absolutely love this game.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Um,
it's time to recycle
it gets
and
hard
move
very
on.
quickly. Like the first round that
Along the
you
tropical
go
coastline,
through, like
life
it's relatively
thrives anew.
easy, but
Parrots flit
the
beneath the
from there
verdant
on, like it's
canopy,
super hard
while
because you
fish
have to, like you
frolic in
said,
the
leave no
abundant
trace.
coral
So you have
reefs.
to
A
coordinate
paradise of biodiversity.
like when things are coming back to the
Even in the
mothership and
most
things like that.
inhospitable of
Mm-hmm.
So it can get a little
life
frustrating
finds a way.
pretty quickly, because it goes like 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. And, I did want to mention also this is the first non two player game on our
Mm.
list, but we do play it together in the form of we're both normally sitting down and kind of painting the map together and giving each other suggestions and doing that kind of
Mhm.
thing. Similarly, in vein to my wife, I absolutely hate pixel hunting. In any game, I find it super frustrating to have to find the exact spot to make something work. And sometimes that happens in Terra Nil, where it says you need 80% of this land to be jungle. And there is actually an optimal way to do that. You can't just like clearly paint the map. So you have to
Mhm.
put things in a very specific way. And I understand the puzzle aspect of that, but it just like it's nearly impossible to tell that you won't cover that 80% or whatever until you've already placed things. So then you need to work backwards and figure out, okay, it actually needs to be 3 pixels to the left and 1 pixel up, and then redo everything you just did. Like
Yeah.
that feels a little bit silly to me.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, the tree won't grow 1 inch to the left, so therefore this entire landscape is doomed. Like
Mhm.
what? it's
Yeah.
it's covered in trees, man. Move on.
So what would you like to add?
Well, of course, two player would be super fun.
Mhm.
But I'd really like it if there was some fantastical maps, like, hey, terraform Mars or
Mhm.
Middle Earth or like the League of Legends map or something like that. That would be really cool. Just to
Mhm.
add some different art style in there, and then also bring some of your favorite genres, like. Hey, Terra Nil meets DC. Superman just flew through Metropolis and blew everything up. Rebuild Metropolis.
Oh
Like,
my.
yeah, that'd be really
That
cool.
would, that would be really cool though.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And what about you, sweetheart?
Um, I think it would be fun to add people, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I think the whole like premise of it is that like humans destroyed the environment. Now we have to undo it. So
Yeah.
I feel like adding people isn't really like what the game's message is. But it would be fun to like place families, and then you see like all the little kids like going and splashing at the beach because the water's finally clean. And they couldn't,
Oh.
swim in the acid ocean before,
Yeah,
but now they can.
like a city map or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be really nice. You go to a polluted city and kind of
Mhm.
make it
Or do you know
nice.
how like in like some movies like they have like the tower where like I don't know, 1 million people live in this one big building and they can't go outside because the air is toxic.
Yeah.
So like you like redo that and then you see all the people like pour out like we can breathe the air now.
Let it grow, let it grow. Yeah, the little hobbits. Okay. Yeah, that's an awesome idea. So, thank you guys for joining us. I hope that this has been a fun and informative video. This is our experiment at kind of a longer form essay or more discussion based
Like a
content,
podcast.
like a podcast.
A
Let us know what you
podcast.
think in the comments below. Give us a like and subscribe. It really does help the channel. And I hope to see you guys in the future.
And if you guys want to suggest any games for us in the comments, we would love to hear them.
Alrighty, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.